Hey YouTubers, just wanted to share a couple of things with you today. This here jar is full of dried mushrooms, which I actually harvested myself. There's two varieties. The white fleshed, it's a boletus mushroom, known in Polish as prawdziwki, which means the real one. And then there's the other variety, which is like a black. This one turns blue right after you cut it, and so those are the two different varieties that I pick that are edible. If any of you guys are in the Colorado area and you're ever interested in learning how to identify wild edible mushrooms, let me know. These are known as porcini mushrooms, so in the grocery store they're actually fairly expensive, and I can get them for free because I know where to find them. Anyways, this kind of goes into the topic I wanted to discuss with you today, which is wildcrafting, something that I've grown increasingly interested in through the years. It kind of started when I was getting into herbs and Chinese medicine and medicinal herbs and stuff like that, and what I didn't realize was a couple things. Let me tell you a story. Basically, I was getting into Chinese medicine, and there was this herb known as a detoxifier. It cleans your blood, it purifies your liver, etc., etc. Anyways, I decided to get this herb because I'd heard it was a really good remedy for acne. And so I go to the grocery store, well, Whole Foods, and I go and I see how much they're charging for this root, is what it is. And turns out it's like $9 a pound. So that's pretty crazy. Anyways, long story short, there is a weed that's really prolific in my backyard. I've had to basically eradicate it through a very intensive process of collecting the seed pods every year and just stomping down the weeds so that they do not produce seeds in the first place. So it's been a really difficult situation, just because the weeds are really ingeniously made to self-propagate, and they spread by method of burrs, which they attach to your skin or your clothes or your shoes or anything like that. So long story short, I find out when I'm looking through these edible medicinal plants of the wild identification books that plant that is in my yard is burdock, and the root of that plant is the very same root that is for sale at Whole Foods for $9 a pound, and I've got it for free all over my yard. So just kind of a tale of irony there, and also just an example of how you have treasure in your own yard and you may not even know it. So I do encourage you guys to research some of the edible plants in your location. I know dandelions are edible, both the roots and the leaves and the flowers. You can actually make dandelion wine out of the flowers. There's all sorts of different edible plants, and they're really prolific. And that's going to be what I'm going to be working on in the next year or so, is in my specific area. I'm going to try to propagate wild species so that they can actually perpetuate themselves in a way that creates a larger fruit or better leaves, just to kind of favor their growth, kind of figure out what conditions favor their growth and give them what they need. And what that does for me is it ensures that I'm going to have a supply of food, even say if my water does get turned off. These plants will survive here anyways. They're native, and a lot of them have really big taproot systems, which means that they will literally burrow into the ground until they find a source of water. And so they're really adapted to the climate, which is another thing that you want to consider. So get to learning your edible plants of the area. I mean, there's even trees, like I found out, and you guys should check out this guy's channel. His name's Dean Green, and he's the channel Eat or what is it, Eat the Weeds. So check him out, and I found out that the trees growing on my property, all of the leaves of my trees are edible. Um, it's a Siberian elm tree, and not only that, but so is the bark. So, and the seed pods. Little things like that you may not have known about, that kind of is extra insurance against possibly going hungry. I also do have wild plums on my property, and crab apples, which are actually really a good source of vitamins and whatnot, and pectin as well if you like to can jellies and stuff like that. So check it out, and I'm going to be looking into possibly growing my own mushrooms. You can actually grow your own shiitake mushrooms and stuff. You just have to inoculate a log and put it in a cold, damp, dark place, and they will grow. There's a guy on YouTube who I'm subscribed to, and he has a really, really great example of this in his permaculture system, and I should put a link of that up to this video so you guys can all check it out, because what he's done is really just crazy and inspiring. So little things like that really get your mind ticking for things that you can do to kind of soften the blow of what could potentially happen, and it's fun too. It's really enjoyable. Even for me, saving seeds, what I'll do is I'll take all the seed plants when they haven't actually dried out yet, and I'll put them on the hammock, and then they'll dry there. But several seeds have actually fallen to the ground below, and I have several different mustard greens and broccoli rabe that are growing underneath the hammock just all by themselves, and I didn't do anything. So things like that, I'm going to try to start spreading seeds around and see if they won't just self-perpetuate. So good to talk to you guys today. Hope you're having a good one. I may be taking a break from YouTube for a little bit, not sure. Just kind of getting a little down and out with a lot of the videos, and I need to take a break. If any of you guys haven't checked out my playlist, which is a compilation of Just for Laughs videos, definitely do that. It'll get your mind off of things, and it'll just give you a really good laugh. It did for me. It's pretty hilarious. So hope you enjoy that. All right, bye.